So thank you very much. Uh, this was my presentation, and I would like to uh, welcome your questions and talk to you about uh, anything that you might be curious about and I didn't cover in this brief
Thanks,
presentation.
David. I have a question. I mean, this is a lot of money, 25,000 euros, dollars. What makes the students pay it? I mean, they obviously see value in it. What's the value? What do they say?
Mhm. Yes. Um, so the application enables the students to say whether they are ready to pay or they are not ready to pay and request partial or full scholarships. And in 2009, about half of the students actually came to Singularity University on a scholarship, which means that they paid less than the $25,000 or they didn't even pay anything.
Hmm.
Those who did pay um, believe that there is much more to the experience than not watching the YouTube videos, which is already possible. All the courses, all the lectures of Singularity University are recorded on these wonderful high definition videos that you have just seen. And on the Singularity U YouTube channel, there are now something like a dozen hours of lectures from world leading experts. However, being there is still something very, very different. Also, um, for many people around the world, the Silicon Valley experience itself is something that is unique and cannot be repeated anywhere else in the planet. Breathing, experiencing, sharing, uh, being able to ask questions, going out to parties during the weekend, driving up in half an hour to Google, Facebook, Twitter, the IBM Material Sciences offices, or robotics laboratories. These are all things that are only possible in the Silicon Valley. And that is also what people attending believe is part of the value.
Thank you.
David, I would also like to ask a question about the deployment of Singularity University here in Europe. I understand, since you told me once, that Silicon Valley is such a unique place that it is nearly impossible to find the equivalent for Europe. So what are you guys planning for this side of the ocean?
Um, at the moment, there is nothing that we are ready to announce. There have been some ideas that we have been working on how to help, for example, European universities leveraging their student pools, and on the other hand, receive help from them in the selection process that is extremely time intensive. Every application is analyzed by Singularity University personnel and track chairs, and they are graded and graded and graded again. Um, there has also been outside of Europe in Brazil an experiment with a leading Brazilian business school in trying and establish a relationship that is going to evolve through time with uh, Singularity University managing director Salim Ismail going down to Brazil and make presentations. Um, so I cannot answer your question because there are just too many variables. And also the complications in Europe are really um, manifold. language variations, geographical dispersion, um, eh, cultural differences as well. Now, of course, one opportunity is that of leveraging the existing content, the videos. Some of them have been captioned, transcribed, and are in the process of being translated for foreign subtitles, not non-English subtitles. So this is an initiative that we welcome anybody to participate in using the .sub platform, which is the same used by the TED conferences, and to use also immersive environments like the one where we find ourselves today. And it is not the next best thing to being there, being together in an immersive environment like this. So I'm sure that we will be experimenting with all of these in order to try and find how the model should evolve and scale better to wider audiences.
Thank you, David. I think Randall has the next question.
I'll try. Can you hear me?
Sure,
Yes,
we can.
Randall, welcome.
Yes. Hi, David. I'm afraid I came in a little bit late, so maybe you've already answered what I'm about to ask, but I was wondering specifically for those students who attend SU, be it through partial scholarship or the paying their whole way, um, if they're coming in and they already have an idea of something they would like to do in an entrepreneurial way, what is it or how is it that SU helps them get started?
Um, Certainly, SU doesn't want to be framed as a mere uh, entryway to meet Silicon Valley venture capital community members or as an incubator. Um, but it is the case that it does cover both of these roles, not as its central mission. However, um, both for the cachet of the organization and for the attractiveness of its courses, the venture capital or the angel community looks at Singularity University very closely. And the teams that form during the graduate studies program have many opportunities for meeting with these people. There is also an extensive amount of coaching. For example, the teams are required to make Ignite style presentations. And for many people who haven't done extensive speaking, being able and expose your subject in a meaningful, impactful manner in 5 minutes in front of 20 slides that advance relentlessly outside of your control, because this is the Ignite model. It's a grueling exercise, and being able and train for it, receiving the coaching of experts about it, and then deliver it in front of your peers and in front of others is just an example of all the skills that the students acquire.